Usyk stops Bellew in the 8th. Boom. That was a serious KO. But I don't know how he got up from that knockdown.
Listen, Tony, thanks for the memories, brother. But there's always going to be... Do you know what? I'll put it out there straight away. I'll say the thing I was going to say straight away. A lot of people said to me, really spoke to me afterwards. I got a lot of messages saying, yeah, you did say he was going to win, but Tony did box well. He was beating him. Bruv, Amir Khan was beating Canelo. Apparently. Do you know what I mean? Do you get my point? And that's the feeling I had for the fight. I was watching, I was thinking to myself, listen, Tony's actually, he surprised me. I didn't think he'd be as kind of in the fight as he was. No, that's no disrespect to Tony Bellew whatsoever. But the point I'll make is it had the same sort of feel to that fight. The Canelo and Khan fight. It's a matter of time. I felt that I didn't necessarily think Usyk was going to knock him out, but I just did feel he was going to be too much for him. I think he was going to outwork him. He was too consistent in what he was doing. His work was too consistent. Tony was gradually starting to fade, I felt. And Usyk's no joke, bruv. The guy is not a joke.
I think the perfect thing was it surprised us the way the fight went. I was scratching my head thinking, maybe some of the people that said that Bellew might outbox him are thinking, hold on, have they got a point here? But I think we allude back to the perfect point that you made was going back from heavyweight down to cruiserweight at this age, it will have an impact in this fight. And it exactly happened. Apart from the 4th to 5th round, you could see Bellew's mouth drop in and he was getting tired. I think you said about Usyk, he was constant and the aggressor, always in his face, didn't give him a time to breathe. But hats off to Bellew. I mean, he surprised a lot. He surprised a lot of people. But like you said, it was just a matter of time. That you could say that could even be in Usyk's game plan to take him on in the later rounds, which would have made sense. And I don't think Usyk was phased throughout any of that fight. Even when Bellew was actually landing, you didn't think that hold on, he's actually pushing Usyk back and Usyk's in any trouble. That was my opinion on it. And the knockout, like I said, was crazy.
It's quite sickening. You were watching it, when you watch it, it's like the first one, you go, oof, and then the second one, you think, oh, god damn. Do you know what I mean? Because it didn't look...
Bro, I give Tony Bellew respect to even get from that knockdown. If that was me, I'd be waiting there for the paramedics. Until I see the paramedics on each side saying you're now safe, that's when I'll leave and get up from the canvas, bro. So even to get up from that, that shot, bro.
So the thing is, I don't want to sound like I'm being a negative person, and this will leave me open for criticism, but that's fine. I'm happy with that, right? But I'm not pissing on Tony Bellew's parade. He's had a good career. He's achieved things that the Goodison Park win for
British,
him was
European.
Yeah, listen, world champion,
and Commonwealth, whatever you call it, bro.
But I don't believe he will go down as a great, one of the British greats. Now, again, people might be like, you're out of order. That's just my opinion. For me, Joe Calzaghe should go down as a great British great. Yeah. Carl Froch should go down as one of the greats for me, in the UK for the more recent times. Lennox Lewis is obviously going to go down as one of the greats. Yeah, I don't think people look back and say, Tony Bellew, look at these barnstorming fights that he had.
Yeah, you're not going to tell your grandkids or kids whatever and say, you know what, there used to be a fighter called Bellew, but you're not really.
Yeah, but the thing is, from Bellew's perspective, obviously he won't care. Yeah. He's made his money. He was a world champion. He set out everything that he wanted to do in the game, and that's fine. And I respect that. But that's why going into this fight, my point the whole time was I don't see why someone can tell me, but I think Bellew could do this, because of that's when I said, because of what? When? At what point did you think that he was going to? Because one time he came up against somebody of real, true class, who's at the top of his game. Don't get wrong, David Haye was obviously a class opponent, but he was not the top of his game. He hadn't fought for so long. He's had injuries. The guy's on a yacht, bro. But when he fought Adonis Stevenson, that's what the guy that was at the top of his game. The same thing happened last night of when he fought Adonis Stevenson. He got put to sleep. It's the wrong thing to say, but he got knocked out. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't think Tony Bellew's a British legend or a British great, but he will go down as someone who won the world champion, and he put boxing on the map in Liverpool again, which is great.
I want to give respect to Tony Bellew, who fought, like he said, slightly different to what he said there, but to what he's achieved. When you look back on his career personally, you're going to say I had great nights, great memorable nights, and that was a nice way to finish off your career. I'm glad he mentioned that he was going to stop now. I think he surprised a lot of people and the fans, and I think he put up a good fight. One thing you know with Bellew is he will always come to fight, and that's always a guaranteed. Now, there were certain things like I used to say about what he used to big up a big fight, what he's going to do, but the way he felt, he surprised a few people. But like you said, in the grand scheme of things, he maybe won 3 or 4 rounds, and that's it. But like I said, great career. It was great watching you for a long time.
As I said, thank you. Thank you.
And you lost to a great opponent.
The only problem with that whole yesterday's fight is I think Usyk now becomes one of the most avoided fighters out there because people can be like, you know what? No, that date, yeah, Usyk, no, I can't make that date. Actually can't do it. Man's on a camp and that. I can't make the fight. Bruv, no one wants that problem. I don't need that problem.
But this is what I was going to ask you now. So, if moving on from the fight and Bellew now to Usyk, right? What did you think of his performance? And do you think now he is actually ready to go into heavyweight and fight the likes of AJ? Now, there's a lot of people on Twitter, I've seen them banging them out saying Usyk is ready to actually take on AJ and beat him.
Listen, the thing about Usyk is you can't. Usyk is such a slick operator. You know the way he boxes. Yeah, he was. I don't think he was at his best yesterday. I don't.
He's getting easily caught as well.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
I don't think he was at his best yesterday. But my argument to that is someone like a Deontay Wilder. Let's just say you put him in with a Deontay Wilder. There could be a problem for Usyk because Deontay Wilder packs a heavyweight punch, right? Whereas, but he's 14 stone. He's nimble. Yeah, that's a problem for Usyk. I actually think Usyk and Joshua will be an interesting fight because I think Joshua's a lot more rigid. He's rigid, a bit more rigid up top. If Joshua obviously bangs. Clearly he bangs. There's not. Do you know what I mean? There's a few mans I got put to sleep when he fought Joshua. But I think for someone like Usyk's a problem for Joshua. I think. But as I said, for Usyk now, there's gonna be a lot of people literally they'll be on the phone and hello, yeah, I'm interested in a fight. Who you got? Usyk. Can't make that one. Can we? We're gonna leave that one. Do you know what I mean? That's what he's done now with this performance, and fair play to him. And like I said, with going back to the Tony Bellew point, the one thing I buzz off Tony Bellew, and I fucking can't get enough of it, is the guy lives, breathes, sleeps boxing. He knows what's happening in the world. He just genuinely has a passion for boxing. A lot of people do it. You like the other people. There's some boxers out there that talk about the financials. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Bellew is clearly set for life now, and he's earned that. But you can tell by the way he talks about boxing when he analyses fighters and potential fights happening and what his opinions are. I love listening to him because you know he lives and breathes it. So I do look forward to having him, listen to it as a pundit because 100%. He talks sense. The guy actually talks sense. When he's not trying to sell a fight, he's talking sense. So yeah, he's achieved some great things. But yesterday was obviously a step too far, and I think he knew that. I think he did know that. He's in his heart of hearts. He gave it all the big talk and stuff, but he knew in his heart of hearts, this is a step too far for me. If I win it, it's a free shot. No one expects me to win. If I win, then I'm going to go out on top. And I'll win all these belts. And I'll go down as the fucking best ever. But, it's done now, so.
To go into the heavyweights and talk about Usyk, do you think he needs to fill out? This is the question I keep. Do you think he needs to get a bit bigger to actually hold himself in that way? I mean, obviously he's got the boxing skill to do it,
and he has fought heavyweights. That's what you got to remember.
Exactly, and he wasn't phased yesterday. Let's be honest, he wasn't phased by none of those shots from Bellew, and he didn't seem rocked at any stage. So I don't know how well he can take a heavyweight blow on some of these big shots. But do you think he needs to fill out?
Well, yeah, because it's funny enough. I was actually talking to someone.
He's 6'3" as well.
I was talking to someone about this yesterday as well. Dillan Whyte would be an absolute nightmare for Usyk, I think, because do you know why? Because Dillan Whyte, like he did to Parker, he would put he's a big dude. He's a big dude, yeah, and he wants to go and scrap. He will use his weight. That's where the filling out thing. I know Usyk's got good feet, good footwork, whatever, but Dillan Whyte is in your face the whole time. He doesn't let you rest. Someone like that with his power and his size, and I know a lot of people give me sticks. They think I'm fucking always bigging up Dillan Whyte. It's because I think Dillan Whyte is a top fighter because he knows what he's good at. The fighters at this stage of their careers, I believe they're the ones that don't know what they're good at. They don't know their strengths. They want to go in there. I want to try and do this week. I'm going to try and do that this week. You know what you're going to get with Dillan Whyte. He's going to fight and he's going to use his weight. You have to push him off you. And that has a big effect. Parker is a slick operator. People think he's lost 2 fights. Shit. He ain't shit. But he fought 2 heavyweights of different styles. One, actually, Anthony Joshua, who's a big dude. And the other guy, Dillan Whyte, who literally everyone thought Parker would beat him. But he couldn't because of the weight he just puts on you. Trying to move him off you to then try and fight. That's where I think Usyk comes unstuck. So I do think he needs to add some size, but then that's not a problem for him because he has been fighting heavyweights his whole life. So it's not a problem. It's just an interesting dynamic now. The heavyweight division is thriving, and if you add him to the equation, wow.
Yeah, but does Usyk now go on to a big, because he's had this massive fight, does he continue that and fight AJ next? Or does he have one heavyweight fight, do you think, in between to get to AJ? What steps would you take? Well, if you're a promoter, you probably want to make the AJ fight happen in April.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. This April date, right? If Dillan Whyte wins this Chisora fight, I think Dillan Whyte gets that. And I think that's half the reason why I think he took this fight with Chisora, because he wants to be in line for that April the 13th slot. Usyk, this fight that has happened just now, throws a cat amongst the pigeons, and Wilder excuse me, and Fury fighting. So these are all doing these fights for that one date in April. So the winner of all of this is Anthony Joshua and boxing fans. Because there's fights now. There are fights to be made. Now it's up to those promoters to go and make them fights, right? So it's very, very interesting for me. I would love to... What would I love to see? Well, it's obvious. I'd love to see the winner of the Wilder Fury fight Joshua. That's period. Like anybody. I'm sure there's nobody out there that's going to be any different. But if you put Usyk in there, I'm sure Anthony Joshua fans are going to be like that. This could be a problem. Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting. The only thing I want to just make a point and pick up on this is there was an interview yesterday with Amir Khan talking about he's got his weird growing his moustache, talking about how the Kell Brook fight, make it happen, just make it happen. You know, Eddie Hearn's dad was talking about it. Mate, come on. Do you know what I mean? Mate.
He was getting booed yesterday. Amir Khan was getting booed yesterday. He come on a big screen and people start booing him because they know just
do it. Yeah, stop it. Just just make the fight. I want the fight. I want the fight, mate. There's caveats all the time. Please, just let's have this fight because it's actually getting annoying now. Do you know people say you do it to build the fight? It's actually just getting annoying. It's actually got to a stage now. It's like whatever, man. Like that's how people are going to be like. Some people are going to be like fucking whatever. That's a fight that would have filled out Wembley. I don't know if it does anymore. I don't know if that fight fills Wembley up now.
A lot of people are saying that. Has it missed its sort of sell-by date?
But that's just a side thing that really annoyed me. But going back to yesterday, I'd say, Tony Bellew, thank you. Thanks for the memories. It's been a good ride and it's been real great watching you, and hopefully Callum Smith can take the mantle forward for Liverpool fighters.
And definitely stay as a pundit because, please, like you said, we love hearing you as a pundit because you talk sense.
And get Malignaggi out of there, please. Get Paulie out of there, man. Fuck.
But yeah, I mean, let's wrap up this video. I mean, let us know what you think. Do you think we're being harsh on Belly's performance and his career? And where does Usyk go from here?
That's my question to everybody. What next for Usyk? And
what dates?
And is he going to be the most avoided fighter because of this fight? Because I know that there's some people out there that will not categorically be taking that fight, bro. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
So until the next fight, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.